What is happening, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Michael Carrasco. I'm a futures day trader, and today we are going to go over my weekly analysis. This is one of the videos that I'll be making here consistently on the channel, just so you guys know what I look at, what key levels from the previous week I am looking at for the next trading week. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on into the charts. That way I can show you guys the levels that I look at on a daily basis. So let's jump right in. So here we go. We are in the charts. This is my trading platform. If you guys want to know what platform I'm using Motorwave. And the reason for that being is because it's the best platform that I can find on Mac. Right now I'm currently using a Mac. All the other, I would say, top tier platforms are only available for Windows. And so yeah, for the meantime, this is what I'm using. It's actually a pretty good platform. I use a lot of order flow tools, so it has all of those tools that I use frequently. So let's jump right in. So right now we are on the weekly chart. Simple. I only look for two levels here. I look at the previous week high, previous week low. Those are two levels that I like plotting on my chart. And the simple reason is because it can kind of tell you which direction the rest of the week is going to be. For example, let's say if on Monday we open up and we fall below the weekly high, which we currently are right now, technically speaking, but let's say we go test the weekly high, but price reverses, that may be an indication that we are entering a bearish session or a bearish week. And then the same thing in the other way. Let's say if we break above the weekly previous week highs, that can tell me that we are looking for higher prices and we could be looking at a very bullish week. So let's plot those right here on the charts. And then for previous week highs, we were looking at 63.33 and a quarter. It's kind of crazy that it is 100 points apart. So there's those two levels. And then one thing that we can notice is on the weekly high, that happens to be our ATH level or all-time high level. That's a level that's always on my chart, just because usually we find a little bit of resistance for a few weeks right up there, where every time we go to that level, we come right back down. Or, just how last week was. We broke this was the previous all-time highs. We broke above that, and then we've been going up ever since. All right, so once we are done with the weekly level, another level that I like looking at will be the daily level. Again, from here, I only get two things from the daily chart, and that will be same thing: previous day high, previous day low. So let's get those on here. So previous day low were 62.76 and a quarter. Previous day highs were 63.22 and 3/4. So I have those on my chart. This one on a weekly basis gets updated because, every day we have new levels and all that. So every week I am changing those levels, or every day, I'm changing those levels to the previous day low, previous day high. Sometimes we have, let's say on a news event, I may keep those levels going on my charts for a little longer, just because that for some reason tends to be a strong level of support or resistance. So after that, what I like to do is I like going down. I go down to like a 4-hour time frame. So let's go right here, 4 hours. Where are you at? Well, we can actually go down to the 2-hour. So what I like looking at here is I like looking at the structure. For example, most of the week we kind of just consolidated here the first few days, and then we essentially started buying up the market until Friday session where we have bearish structure all throughout the day. So that's why I don't necessarily like taking levels from higher time frames. Usually, as high as I go to plot it, when I'm plotting my key levels throughout the week, will be maybe like a 1 hour, but usually 1 hour 30 minutes. That's where I like getting my levels from, and that's just simply because I'm a day trader. I'm not looking to jump into a swing position where I need to, be mindful of the high time frames levels. I do like looking at the higher time frames just for structure. I used to see how the structure in the market is looking. Are we bearish? Are we bullish? And yeah, pretty much it. Apart from that, we just looking at it just for structure, not really plotting anything on this level. But if we're looking at this, pretty much we've been having the last session, it was all bearish structure. But let's go down even lower. I would say the 1 hour will be one of my favorites. So from here, what I like doing is I'm looking at the points throughout last week. So this was on Monday after the opening on Sunday night. So after that, what we've been doing for the most part is we've been staying above this level. So you guys can see we rejected it quite a few times. So I like this level right here. So we rejected there, we rejected there as well. So what I like doing is I draw this box right here, boom, and then I do have a template for it. I call this my weekly levels. So that's one level that I'm looking at right here. So pretty much this, that right there, and then for the most part that right there. And we draw it down there. I don't like having my zones too wide where, let's say sometimes price decide to shop around that area and boom, there you go. So that's one level that I'll be mindful for next week, because this is a level that we can we may come and test that level and rebounce right up from there. Another level that I saw here will be this area right here. It'll be this, and even this. So we can draw it up a little bigger. So again, we had a big rejection there. Price, shopped around there for a little bit, kept rejecting it until we finally broke above it. And then as you guys can see, once we broke above it, boom, we kind of came to test that level, rejected, came near that zone again, rejected it, and price moved up from there. So as far as that, those are essentially the levels that I'm looking at for next week. And so right down here will be 62.23 and a quarter, so the lows of last week, and 62.32 and let's say and a quarter. That will be another level that I'll potentially be looking at, just because that could be a level that if the market comes down here, we might reject from there. Same thing over here in this zone, 62.23 and 3/4, 62.70 and 3/4. That's another area where we might come visit this area and reject from there. As you guys can see, we did somewhat, we came near that on Friday. We came near it. We didn't necessarily rejected it, but we came near that zone, and price kind of made had a little rally from that zone. So that's another zone that I'll be looking at. Of course, we already have the ATH marked out, as well as our previous week highs. But another thing that we could potentially do here is we can, right here where we had that rejection right there. Sometimes I like marking those, especially if we had, new all-time highs put in place. Just because sometimes that is a level that does have a lot of resistance there. So we're gonna mark that up and have it on our chart as well. Yeah, so weekly wise, this will be the levels that I'll be looking at for the rest of the week. Again, I just wanted to make this video that way you guys know what I'm looking at, how I do my weekly analysis. So as far as the weekly analysis, those are the zones that I'm looking at. Now, you do have to be mindful. The markets will always do whatever they want to do. I draw this here only as a reference. They are nothing more than an area of interest for me, where I want to see the market come to those areas and potentially, for example, let's say if on Monday we come and retest this zone right here, I'm looking to buy it. I'm looking to see if the market gives me an opportunity to jump on a long position. I'm looking to buy it. Now, if we break below that, I'm looking to sell it, of course. But yeah, that as far as that's what I'm looking at when it comes to that. Now, another thing that I also like plotting here will be, I trade a lot of supply and demand zones when we're away from weekly levels. So we have a nice demand zone right here. Let's put it on there. So we have a really nice demand zone right here, and it just happens to be inside of our weekly zone that I am watching. So I could ideally, I would like to see price come hit that area, and then I want to see it rejected right at that supply zone. That gives me more confirmation to jump on a trade long. Another thing that I also see here, looking at this chart, especially this past Friday's price action, is that we have a nice little supply zone right here. At least that's what I classify as a supply zone for me. I know, in trading, this is very, very discretionary. So what may look to a supply zone to me may not look like a supply zone to you. But this is another area that I will be looking for on Monday. So essentially, this area I'm looking to sell, maybe sell into this lows right here. Or, vice versa. If market comes down here first, I'm looking to buy into that zone right there. Yeah. But apart from that, guys, thank you for watching. If you guys made it through the end, kind of getting, I guess, used to just talking to a camera with nobody else on the other side. But I hope you guys like this video. Hope it was somewhat informational for you guys. Maybe we are looking at the same things when you guys are doing your weekly analysis. Maybe we're not. But if you guys want to, I guess, compare levels or anything like that, I do have a Discord community completely for free. I made the community essentially as a way for traders to come in, hang out together, learn from one another without, feeling like they have to buy a membership or anything like that. But things that I post on there will be my daily analysis, and as well as my daily game plan for each trading session. But yeah, if you guys want to join, let me know. Shoot me a DM, either on Instagram or here on YouTube. Send me a private message. That way I can send you guys that invite and you guys can come trade with me, or at least, get a second look, get a second opinion of what you are seeing on the markets. But yeah, guys, that's it. That's all I got for today. Like I said earlier, I hope this was very informational for you guys. But yeah, to end it here, just make sure you guys subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you guys get updated with the latest content coming here from the channel. as well as leave a like on this video, comment something. If you're looking at a different level than what I am, put in the comment section. And yeah, far from that, peace out. See you guys on the next one.